Sometimes animals are stuck in such horrific situations that their only chance is being rescued by the same humans they normally fear, from scared little pups to a mighty lioness. Here are some stories of animals relying on humans to save them. This sea turtle got stuck in thick tree roots on its way back to the water. With only a small knife, this man freed the turtle and dragged it back to deeper water where it was safe. This dog was stuck on the ice and had lost all hope of being rescued, until a team of firefighters, police and animal control officials found him and stepped in to save the day. This starving fox was in search of food until he ran into this man who offered him half his meat pie. After surviving the 2019 Australian wildfire, this koala received first aid from a woman who lent him a drink and poured cold water over its burned hands. This poor sea turtle had heavy plastic and rubbish tangled with its flipper. These kind men saw this and jumped right in and freed the poor thing's flipper.
Here we go, buddy. See ya, big fella.
The family that owned this horse spent hours upon hours to free him from the mud bog. After a long, slow struggle, they got the horse out, but the horse's legs had stopped working and it died of a heart attack while attempting to stand. But it's heartwarming that the horse knew his family didn't give up on him until the very end. This man found a lonely puppy who'd been left to die by the side of a railway track. The dog was terrified at first, but eventually built up the courage to accept food from this man and followed his new friend home for a better life. This impala tried everything to get out of the sticky mud, but just as it seemed like it had given up, this man came to the rescue and set it free. This mama sloth had almost given up all hope on finding her lost baby, but this person found the baby on the ground and reunited the two. This gorgeous little bird got its feet stuck to the cold iron railing, and this man used the warmth of his hand to free the bird. This poor deer had a bucket stuck on his head and was walking around in its misery for days. Luckily, a rescue organisation found him, and after a meticulous rescue mission, the deer was finally free. This woman spotted a little kangaroo with burned hands. She gave it a warm hug and poured water on the kangaroo's hands to soothe them. This poor dog fell in hot tar. Thankfully, he was found by kind people who spent 2 days rescuing the doggo. Thanks to their effort, the dog was good as new. This sweet pup was stuck in a freezing lake, drowning in the cold water, but this family gave it their best and managed to get the dog out safely.
Fall down! You're gonna fall down, Mom!
This baby elephant found itself stuck in a ditch, and these considerate people took him out of there. The cutest thing is that you can see the mama elephant raising her trunk to thank the humans who saved her baby. These stray dogs were so sad and hungry until they came across a kind milkman, and without hesitation, he gave them both some milk to drink. This monkey needed water, and at first tried to steal it from this man's backpack, but there was no need, since the man was more than happy to share his drink. This deer was stranded on a frozen lake, and getting back to safety seemed impossible, until this man stepped in and offered a helping hand. This bear was swimming around helplessly with a plastic tub stuck on his head. These people tried to help the bear, but it got scared.
Pretty slow down.
But they didn't give up on their risky operation and finally managed to take the bucket right off.
Yes. Gotcha. Go.
This stray kitten was thirsty and clearly asking for someone to open the tap. Luckily for the little guy, this man obliged. A stingray attack can be very dangerous, but that didn't stop this guy from taking the risk and helping the stranded stingray back into the ocean. This baby deer was crying its heart out while stuck behind a fence. His mama was worried for him too. Then these lovely people showed up and let the poor baby out very gently and carefully. This seal got horribly tangled in a net until a group of rescuers spotted him and got him out of his misery. Seals usually run away, but this one stayed, which was most probably a way of saying thank you to its rescuers.
It's a pleasure.
This beautiful antelope was stuck in a fence, scared for its life, but this kind man took his time to cut the fence, setting the antelope free and running. This adorable little stray pup was scared and had to fend for himself in an abandoned neighborhood when this guy found him, fed him, and adopted him. This adorable hedgehog was stuck in the mud, but it was his lucky day because a kind man found the little helpless creature. Not only did he carefully take the hedgehog out of the mud, but also gave it a nice bath afterward. This tiny squirrel was on the verge of drowning in a pool for a very long time before this guy noticed it and helped it out of the water. The critter was so exhausted by all the struggle, it couldn't move after it was rescued. This kitty was thirsty, but couldn't quite figure out how to get some water until this man stepped in and saved the day. This baby white shark was stuck on some rocks, struggling to get back into the water. So, a group of surfers decided to step in and help the little shark. After a few failed attempts, they tried another strategy, finding a better suited location. From there, they sent the baby shark back to its home.
Don't worry about it fighting you.
In the hot Indian summer, these brave men joined forces to help a dangerous cobra quench its thirst. Sienna the lioness was left terribly injured by a buffalo's horns, but the vets didn't give up on her and treated the wound. Thanks to their efforts, she was able to rejoin her pride and be a mother to her little cubs again. This runner heard the desperate cries of an abandoned lamb on an extremely dangerous mountainside, and yet he was brave enough to go help anyway. Thanks to his selfless efforts, the lamb was reunited with its buddies. This exhausted raccoon was hopelessly trying to swim to land, but it was so far away, it probably would have drowned. Until this kayaker stepped in to rescue the raccoon. The animal immediately dozed off on the kayak. When bucks lock their antlers, sometimes they can't set themselves free and die with their antlers locked. These bucks were lucky because these men found them in their ordeal and, after a risky operation, freed them and saved their lives. This poor eagle got tangled in a kite wire. Hanging upside down like that, it would have died there, but these people rescued the bird and gently untangled the kite wire and sent it flying once again. And that's a wrap. Consider subscribing, and we'll see you in the next one.